So I just wanted to give some context for the work that we did around listening to this proposal and then next, and also the regional proposals around just peace in Israel and Palestine. So obviously this is a challenging and difficult and very nuanced issue. And so we wanted to share with you the process that we undertook as a facilitation team. We were aware, as we were challenged by our own constraints of time, that we didn't want to be stuck in a position where we felt rushed through this process. And so we set aside a block of time specifically to deal with all of these proposals together. We also, because not everybody in the facilitation team had the same level of understanding or experience around the issues around a just peace in Israel and Palestine, and because of my formal role as co-moderator of the Palestine-Israel Ecumenical Forum Core Group of the World Council of Churches, we started that session with a sort of broad overview of some of the issues that were at stake. And then we went in very, very thorough and careful detail through the discussion notes about all of the various proposals, and spent a very, very large chunk of time trying to be especially thoughtful and prayerful and careful about making sure that we heard the voices that were present through the discussion groups, and also were faithful to trying to discern a way forward. And so I just wanted to share on behalf of the Way Forward Committee, that was the process that we undertook. And we're happy to answer questions too, but for now, I think I will pass it over to Em to talk about our actual results of where we landed on these group of proposals, starting with GCE03.
Thank you, Carmen. So what we wrote was, there was broad support for this proposal across a significant majority of discussion groups. There were helpful comments about implementation, including the participation of the National Indigenous Church and the timelines of the work that should be reviewed by TICIF committee as it proceeds. We also note that it may be helpful to include an additional framework of using public international legal frameworks when they are appropriate in our justice work. We suggest that the General Counsel affirm this proposal. I'm now going to turn it over to Hewitt to talk about what happened after we did this first way forward.
Hewitt Holmes, Shining Waters Facilitation Team. Thank you very much, Em and Carmen, moderator. When we completed our work on, as outlined by Carmen, on these proposals, of course, to the studious engagedness, the critical mind of the council, we got some responses. And again, we did set aside some time intentionally to sit down, to prayerfully consider the suggestions that were coming forward. So while it is that we did get some suggestions, we did feel, based on the general conversation from the groups, that those discussions, that the discussions we got after we made our suggestions did not change the group discussions, because that's central to our process. We did not want individuals to now impose their views upon the group discussions. And so while it is that there were comments made and there were things suggested, we felt that those comments were not consistent with what the groups were saying. And so we respect the individual comments, but because of the process we were using, we wanted to keep faith to the group way of thinking and the group way of offering a way forward. And so the rest of the proposals that Em will go through, we just want you to be quite mindful that there was much intentional effort, as Carmen has said, on how we received and responded to the group work on these proposals.
Thank you, Hewitt, and the facilitation team for giving us context. We do have Way Forward 07 in front of us, and M read the words that were there from the facilitation team. And so I would like to ask, please, that poll number 1 be brought up. I would invite the poll to be closed and the numbers shared. I would note that overwhelmingly the council felt that both of these were done. And so we will move to the wording, please.
Thank you, moderator. The wording before the council